Alright, and now we've got another set today. Got Sea Rams versus Gabrio. I'm very interested to see how this
Oh, I'm
goes.
so excited for this one because it's a fun one because C Rams is a very recent player, but with quite a bit of competitive success. Got to top 16 in a previous Winter Cup and has been cutting waves through Golden Gold as well. Whereas Gabrio has been around for a very long time, has been in tons of tournaments, has run tons of tournaments, but is yet to see major competitive success really, except second place in Lotus Cup, third pedal. But yeah, so I think this is going to be a really interesting matchup.
For sure. I know Sea Rams is asking me a bunch for advice, and it's always great to see people trying to improve.
Yeah, and also a known daily player is C Rams, which can create some interesting strengths and weaknesses depending on, how that goes.
Yeah, and as everyone knows, daily players are cool. Alright, let's get this game started in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Long AI control here. We've seen a lot of this today. And letting it take us into early statues. And we're not taking the inspects from it.
Yeah, we are committing to the AI control. That is bold, especially because, yeah, we get the highlight for it.
And we take control once the AI puts down the statue. I'm not exactly sure what Sea Rams is going for here.
It's a play you might make if you were very worried about your own etiquette skills and the ability of your sniper to catch them. If you really didn't think that you were going to get the etiquette right, now we're going back for the inspect, I presume.
Yeah, and we've taken the same exact path 2 times, which is a very short path, which can be very eye-catching, even to someone who's not a pathing sniper. And yeah, I would definitely expect this play more if you're playing someone who's like known to be well versed in etiquette and pathing. Maybe going for like some kind of anti-tell low lights, but I don't know. I haven't
Yeah.
seen Gabrio enough to know if they low light for that.
Banana bread.
And there's also not really a ton of anti-tells with statues in particular. Like there's if you go for a briefcase early on, like that's one thing to AI control through. But statues is an odd one because the etiquette's relatively easy to replicate as spy, and the advantage of doing it as a spy is that you can get direct mission progress. So yeah.
Yeah, on the bright side, it does mean that there isn't a negative to going back to the same set of statues. It's just a bit of wasted time.
Yeah,
And
and we
that
still
is
only
looking.
have that partial progress. We have contact and the partial inspect and some partial flirt, but no sign of what we're doing for the second mission now that we've burned a lot of time off the clock with all that
Yeah, that wasted
stuff.
time is coming back to bite us as we're into the final minute with 2 partial missions and 1 still needing to be done.
Amba's not super buggable, and we're not even chasing down the flirt or the inspect, so I hope C Rams has a plan here.
Do have flirt done. It looks like the only option might be inspect swap unless we can get a bug here. But this is going to look like a desperate finish, and Gabrio might be rotating to check this. It's a green swap, though.
Okay, this could be good, could be bad. I'm not sure Gabriel could actually see it. A white swap might
Yeah,
have won the game there. It can be so hard to tell that. That is unfortunate for T Rams because we're going to have a hung clock here.
General takes a bit of a bug path and then redirects into this pending swap.
But with the overtime like that, there's
Banana
only
bread.
what oh,
No, the
oh
BB. a C-Rams does a fake contact to try to distract, and it comes off, I think, right before Gabrio was able to react and click on general.
Yeah, I'm. That's interesting because I think the hanging clock is noticeable, and I'm curious what Gabrio thinks General could have hung the clock with and then be finishing with. Was there a purloin
General
involved in
was
here?
near
Or
Toby, and it was a reject from Sorry, so perhaps there was some confusion there.
yeah, that's possible. Or just like knowing that there's overtime and not knowing who else to shoot, not really thinking about the possibility of a green swap from C. Because it did look like Gabro was angling to see a swap, but didn't think through the possibilities of a green swap, perhaps, or just didn't think it could be done.
Yeah, I definitely think you were right, though, that a white swap would have also won that. So C-Rams, I guess, was clean that game, and now is on to their favored sniper side. And we'll get this game started in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Quick AI control, unlike the last game, always good to see, although we don't really make anything of this early game, just go to an innocent conversation and sip our starting drink.
See if Gabrio makes a quick switch over to the ST conversation here. Certainly eyeing it up, but there
Ooh,
isn't really room
purloin,
for it.
requested and green purloined. Okay, let's see how this goes. Serums does seem to have been tracking the list at least a little bit in the early game. Let's see. Sees the
Fade.
purloin immediately. I don't know about the fade. Yeah, doesn't seem to have seen the fade because leaves the taker highlight, but should have things quite narrowed down now. So I think this is
Yeah,
going to be unfortunate for Gabrio.
this is a Kaylee-esque narrowing down of the party, and you love to see it. So completely onto this Purloin chain.
Which is 3 people. That's better than 2 people, but it's still not ideal when you have all the rest of the game to, look for banana bread, banana breads that might narrow things down, or just like seeing nobody do further mission progress.
And apparently there was one other in the reject chain that Gabrio's pointed out that was missed, so that is dangerous from C-Rams there, but in this case was correct. Slight
Gabrio
animation
leads
break,
the.
leaving to grab the briefcase.
Hopefully,
And
you just gotta hope that C-Rams isn't aware of that, because if C-Rams knows about that with only 3 people suspicious, that would be the time that they could catch it, if ever.
yeah, double zoom in on that briefcase return as well to make sure that there was no bug. And I think it's probably apparent to C-Rams that Red Dress is the most active
Mm-hmm.
one in this party.
Now finishing fingerprint, taking a really good angle for this microfilm. I really like how C-Rams is playing this. Obviously, it's like this is a game where C-Rams has a huge advantage, but he's not like letting that go to waste. He's not assuming that he's already won it. He's being very cautious. He's taking careful angles, and he is making sure that nobody gets the finish without him noticing.
Yeah, and all this movement, I have to think that is gonna trigger a shot when this contact comes off.
Banana bread.
Yeah. Really nicely played from C-Rams with the perfect mission counting, assuming that flirt is finished, which you can't rely on whether it is or not without knowing, whether your opponent hit green flirt or not.
Yeah, and I just want to make sure that C-Rams had that chain down. Yeah, that was also a reject from Orange Dress at the very beginning that was missed. So maybe a potential lapse that Gabrio could take advantage of in future games. But we're on to Veranda now.
Indeed. In 3, 2, 1.
C-Rams' Kane, we'll see if the pacing is similar this game on 5 of 8.
We are starting out with some AI control into statues, but at least we take control this time when we hit the pad.
There's a statue visitor at each set, so that is quite nice. Or, just confusing the sniper. And no inspect highlights, so we're away from that without a blemish here.
I'm going in for a flirt as well, but our ST leaves because we try to pick up the book before flirting. Always an interesting proposition there on which you choose to do.
Not gonna join ST at window there either. So
Possibly worried about flirt pair since both of us have books out from the same bookcase, or just waiting for her to return to flirt there, maybe. I am curious what CRAMS is going to do with this book. I hope we can see some transfers going on here.
yeah, especially if we spend a lot of time with it. Which it looks like we're doing in this innocent combo. Double idling is Kane.
Mm-hmm. We have ST and DA in the same convo, which was full and now isn't full because our ST left, which is a little sad, but at least we have the DA.
Unfortunate, and she goes over to the conversation which we just left.
Oof.
I swear it's
So this isn't
hard-coded
the
to do that
worst time
sometimes.
for a contact. Only a couple people out. One highlight. I'm not sure what highlight for, but a lot of people in conversation. She returns to us. She really does love us.
Yeah, agreeing across the conversation is going to be 42%, which is not terrible. I'm going to take the contact now. It's only real for 3 people, I believe, or 4 people.
Doesn't very obviously knock hair out, which is nice. I think she was still, she still couldn't have done it, but it's harder to tell that than her being at bookcases. So keeping in this highlight is good. Although I'm still not sure what she's highlight for.
She is on the move now as well, so being very active. Opportunity to bug would have been really nice as Amba entered. Standing bug is very obvious on Kane.
Yeah. With that zoom in, and especially with Toby bringing it over, that's a situation where the sniper's attention is going to be on you, and Gabrio was looking for it.
Kane might have one of the most exaggerated leans on his standing bug, so maybe it was not the most advisable play there. But Gabrio has a chance now to tie it up with a spy win. And we'll get it started in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Playing as Orange Sari is a little bold. A notably slow character on a notably large venue, but she does have excellent bugs, so probably Gabrio is hoping for those to make this 5 of 8 a little easier.
Yeah, I would love to see some faster pace out of Gabrio here, especially if you can avoid. Ooh, beautiful.
Ooh.
That's a very nice reverse bug, and it seems to be clean from Gabrio, and that's a lovely start.
Yeah, no sign that C-Rams caught that or even thought about the possibility particularly. Watching for it on the return, but that's not when Gabrio does it because he doesn't need to.
Innocent drink as well. I like that decision early on rather than rejecting multiple times.
And it provides you a good excuse to leave within the bounds of etiquette.
Taking this innocent drink over to a innocent conversation, though. Not sure what Gabrio's going for here.
We are behind a pillar, although you can't, it's not like there's anything we can get away with behind this pillar. And that's just a quirk of how the laser happened to be angled at that time.
Looks like we're eyeing up back statues. Sipping our drink twice so we can get over there. Taft joins our conversation, so unfortunately not going to get another flirt before getting... Ooh, swap?
Okay. I suspect that was some action priorities, and we'll see. That was a big zoom. It looks like C-Rams has maybe seen it now, and is evaluating.
Was anybody there before us is now the question.
It looks like
Or
C-Rams isn't sure.
Yeah, if C-Rams isn't sure, that might sow doubt and, inspire a Civ shot later on.
Yeah, although if C-Rams is sure about the swap, could at least narrow it to highlights, since I believe C-Rams has been taking highlights for partial statues. Although maybe you think that like Smallman or someone snuck in there when you weren't looking, and so you keep the whole party up.
Yeah, certainly possible, although that laser burn certainly indicates otherwise.
I think Gabrio's probably the top suspect in any case, and still needs contact, second inspects, more flirt. But if that bug really is clean, and C-Rams is going to be diligent about mission counting, Gabrio could get away with this. Okay, now we're seeing C-Rams has evaluated it and decided to take lowlights on anyone who isn't pilot.
It's a good play.
See. And while C-Rams is doing all this, Gabrio's taking the opportunity to go do some inspects.
Ooh,
and it's totally off
gets
screen
out of here.
So okay, nope.
That
we're seeing
could have been it.
There. Yeah.
This could be another situation where the spy is just dead on contact.
We're watched so closely for this bug. Yeah, we're definitely top suspect. I do like Gabrio going for that, seeing that the sniper is busy with something on the other side. Go for the sneaky inspects. Maybe it would have been better to go for the ones in the back there, with slightly more cover, slightly less chance of being caught. Especially if you know you're already swap
The double
credited.
agent has joined the ST's conversation, so Gabrio has a chance here to finish Seduce and Contact in one go.
But we only have so much time, and I think if we do, immediate talk, and then there's going to be a contact at some point, which is double talk, yeah, we're so dead.
Unfortunate that that game with such a beautiful bug doesn't come to fruition.
Yeah. I think it was a really solid game by Gabrio, except for the swap didn't quite work out. I don't know whether it was intentional or, Gabrio was setting up over there. Maybe he was hoping for like a super sneaky swap, although that's tough to do with Sorry because of her speed. But if that was action prior, was that very unfortunate because the bug was really nice, but a clean bug is not enough to win you a game on Veranda.
Unfortunate. As we step into High Rise 3 of 6. This time we're seeing the setup of, this is a fairly standard setup at this point, bug, swap, purloin, plus seduce, contact, and inspect.
This is, I would say, the most common version of this, yeah.
For sure. As we start in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
AI control into statues. We've seen an awful lot of that across both of these sets, and it's very funny.
Yeah, C-Rams learning from the prior mistakes and grabbing inspects this time.
And Gabrio doesn't do partial inspect highlights, so at least we're not starting off the game with the highlight here. So that's good for C-Rams, especially when he didn't have control over what he was going to do in that first bit, or chose not to have control over it.
Yeah, no flirts yet, and with slightly reduced time, that can become a bit of an issue.
We're not seeing a highlight for, I'm pretty sure Boots is at center inspects there, and she's not. Okay, there's the highlight. Sneaky highlight. Interesting. So Gabrio possibly trying to conceal what he's using his highlights for, or just like conceal that he's highlighting Boots in particular if he's really suspicious of Boots for some reason. I kind of like that strategy, honestly. That's kind of slick.
Yeah, I always love to see stealth highlights. Probably one of the coolest things that snipers can do.
Indeed. And certainly with High Rise, if you have a relatively still laser in the center there, and someone's going from center inspect to anywhere where they can get like flirt or contact done, then they're going to pass through your laser probably.
Yeah, and a very wide path into statues, but Gabrio was zoomed in when that happened. As we finish inspects, we'll see if
Yeah, I'm curious whether we get a stealth highlight here now, because I think we probably will. Yeah,
Very
okay.
nice.
Oh, beautiful. I I would like to think that that stealth highlight just, like, not won Gabrio the game, but, like, gave him a substantial advantage of being like, oh, I'm totally not highlighting for inspect finishes. And then so C-Rams goes and finishes inspects and does get highlight for it, but doesn't realize it.
Yeah, and it's looking like, oh, white purloin.
Oh,
White
that's
checker purloin.
unfortunate. Although, turns around in such a way that it's not totally clear what the fade was, but yeah, no, the shot for that.
Yeah, too difficult to resist. An inspect finisher taking the guest list. I wonder if there was a chain on that. It was a reject from Alice and the ambassador, so could have been Alice theoretically, but Irish was done with missions.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Nicely sniped from Gabrio.
As we step into the next game, and we've got the setup from the first match today, which is Bug and Swamp plus the 4 soft tells. And we'll start in 3, 2, 1, planet. Ooh,
Ooh, instant take
immediate
control and a
flirt.
very lucky ST landing, and we get a 51% green flirt. So that's very good for Gabrio's pacing. Looks like
It
we're planning
is,
on
but
timer
I would have,
flirting though, which is less good.
yeah, I would have loved to see Gabrio just leave from that, because
Yeah,
you would
that's
not
the
have picked up
freest cheese flirt in the world.
for sure. Into center statue, so Gabrio going for the jugular. We'll see if C-Rams is able to shoot for a potential 3 green game, or I guess 6 green. Slight animation break, but C-Rams is zoomed in, so unlikely to have an effect.
Yeah, Gabrio really wanted to finish that off without going back to statues, so just like, takes that extra moment and makes sure that he gets all 3 inspects.
Print on the drink too opens up the opportunity
Oh,
for a silent
wow.
game, and I think I would
Yes,
prefer that.
yes. Yeah, no, this is sweet. Drink print and then like find a briefcase or a book or something. Yes, silent game on high rise, and you could finish with very much not much time left. Queen's taking this briefcase, but there will be others. Not much time left. Lots of time left.
Yeah, and depending on how much Gabrio trusts C-Rams, Gabrio could even go for a contact, like leaving that print hanging and just asking C-Rams, would a spy do this basically?
I mean, I think I prefer the silent game just because on a map where it's 3 of 5, it can be so hard to think that you need to shoot for a silent game, especially like the earlier you complete it, the better. And we have the opportunity for a pretty early complete. Print on green books, although it'll be difficult by the time we get there because Disney smudges it.
Yeah, if we're gonna go for it, now would be a good time to leave us the opportunity for a contact afterwards, but it looks like Disney's gonna go
Oh,
back
that's
after
funny.
smudging it to take it himself.
Oh, wow. And Queen has now finished fingerprints because, as I noted, she's taken 2 briefcases now. Assuming that that one was fresh, which I don't know, but
Queen into middle inspects.
oh wow. Queen's doing this game. Queen is
Yes.
doing the inspect, flirt, fingerprint game. I wonder if she'll get shot for it. If she
Gabrio's
doesn't,
been
that's
very
very sad for
idle.
Gabrio.
Yeah,
It might
this
have been a single
idling is
cycle.
good. Ooh, Gabrio, a little bit
Oh,
of
but she's
camera
going to
shake.
more inspects. Oh, this is devastating for Gabriel because it shows him if he'd just gone for the fingerprint thing, there's no way he would have gotten shot for it because Queen's finishing that and not getting shot for it.
We're stepping in with double agent. I think we should hold this contact as close to 10 seconds as possible just to give these two a chance to get into conversation, but Queen's not going to oblige.
Yeah,
Swamp
and
is
that's really
on.
risky because we know high-rise DAs can be very rude.
Oh, we were left alone by the
Oh,
double
what
agent.
did
We
I
have
tell you?
no, we don't get pick up the briefcase either. Green action test. It
Oh,
doesn't even work in time. No.
that is such a sad game to watch because it could have been so sweet if just like a handful of things had gone better, or like if Disney had been there to smudge the print, Gabrio could have gotten that free with no need for a green action test, and that would have been such a sweet finish. And we have good evidence that he wouldn't have been shot for it, or we don't know what would have happened if the contact had come off, but at least there would have been a chance. Ah, that was so close to an absolutely gorgeous silent game.
Yeah, the intentions were good from Gabrio wanting Queen in for that, as well as wanting to go for a silent game, but fortunately the AI party luck just didn't work out. So I believe that's C-Rams holding the lead as we step into Aquarium.
Yeah.
Alright, let's get it started in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Taking
AI
AI
control
control.
until we were gonna take a path near the Amba behind Shark, where
Exactly.
C-Rams bails out for Flirt.
Yeah, I think that's the first time that C-Rams is taking control during the AI path.
We have a green book in hand. That could be interesting, and we took it out behind the Shark, so we shall see how this goes. We are sort of presenting it to the Sniper, so they're likely to be reminded that it exists. But innocent conversation so far, so we've got half a mission and maybe another half of a mission if we choose to execute it.
Yeah, as I think Grosh and Guggy were alluding to, it's like kind of like Quantum or Schrodinger's mission progress. You don't know until it gets done.
Indeed. Our
ST
ST joins
rejoins.
us, but we don't get too far away to get the 2 Flirt, which is slightly unfortunate.
Still, Free Flirt is Free Flirt, and might join our double agent at bookshelves here just to slam this book back. Shark is coming, so that would provide decent cover if C-Rams wants it.
You know, it's funny. I say we're sort of presenting it to the Sniper. Like, Disney's enormous hands provide surprisingly good cover for the fact that he's holding a book. Especially when there's someone sort of, in front of you like General was there. So,
Yeah,
it doesn't look like we're getting outright shot. Oh, never mind.
there we go. Yeah, Disney's an interesting one because he also has an idol where he puts his hands behind his back, so whether you stand in front of or behind the book, it wouldn't matter because this book would be visible either way.
True.
Gabrio, all over it. Good shot.
Good
And now
shot,
has a
indeed.
chance on the spy side. And picking Taft, that's a speedy character. We'll see what Gabrio can get up to. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Bounces away from the Amba in time of chaos, another real chance for a chaos bug, and starts out at statues where he will get a highlight for partial statues because Sirevs has been very consistent about that, and hopefully that doesn't come back to bite Gabrio.
Yeah, picking up an early highlight against an inspect highlighter can be devastating, although it doesn't look like the ST has 4 wheels. I wonder why.
Interesting, yeah. There was a slight stutter in our path there around Bar, but hopefully Sirevs didn't notice that or think anything of it.
A lot of people at bar as well, so we'll see if a delegate will end up coming off. And it doesn't look like it because Gabrio wants some seduce progress.
Gabrio carefully angling for the return from Seek behind Shark. Gabrio hits the green test on the Flirt, 51%. Half of 2 missions done and plenty of time on the clock so far.
Huh, we are in 51% range despite having Queen separating. That's surprising to me. Ooh,
Yeah, you
Smallman
can
getting
get
a bug
that,
credit.
but oh my,
Smallman
yes.
getting a bug credit behind the Shark, and Gabrio might have had a reverse bug opportunity and a brief laser burn on Smallman, so Gabrio's aware of that, needs to keep Smallman in for this contact, because he's also got partial inspects.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see those close flirts with another person in between them. Because, of course, there's nothing in the programming against that. It's just about how close you are to each other. It's just that normally there isn't enough space between you, but sometimes there is. Or sometimes the AIs will decide there is. Sometimes you squeeze yourself in on the other side of an AI. See Ram's watching the bug closely. No highlights coming out from it, so probably not crediting it too hard. Smallman's on the move. And Gabrio gets another flirt. Getting a
Smallman's on
little
the
behind the
move.
curve here.
Yeah, Smallman's on the move to a conversation without a DA in it. Although he's on the move again. So
Yeah, quick leave
perhaps...
and... Ooh, sweet stop though. Stop for a full conversation there, but it doesn't look like C-Rems knows what to make of it.
I would expect Gabrio to move over for this contact pretty soon. Smallman has been left by his suspected double agent.
This is pretty... I don't know that that combo's
Banana
empty
bread.
enough for
I
him to fit in.
I do like the known fake BB since double agent is left, and that's going to put a lot of heat on this conversation.
Yeah, because Gabrio can't know it, but the other SDA was out, so there was only one real conversation. And with the SDA joining a conversation, if one was inclined to put a lot of thought into contact, one might think that, like, that can't be the real DA.
In the back, statues now. Going for an inspect swap.
Ooh,
It is
swap.
another white test, and we don't have mission win countdown going. So
Very
Gabrio's going to have
unfortunate.
to walk away
Good
from
swap
this.
blocker, but that mostly works when you have, a mission win countdown to work with. And Gabrio's slow pacing forces desperate moves that get him shot.
Yeah,
Unfortunate.
and a bit of continued unluck with the double agents here. In contact is most definitely a compulsory mission against campers. As we step into Courtyard 4 of 7 for the second time, got C-Rams playing as Boots. 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Wow, we take AI control without articulated reason. I'd like to see it, although the ST is not really cooperating with being in a flirtable spot. Oh wow. Now that is a NASCAR from us both.
Yeah, C-Rams doing about a 270 and a 180 around the center pillar, but does land next to the ST for 51%. And if you're not going to get punished for that sort of thing, no reason not to do it.
Certainly, I like it more than the sort of let the AI dictate my pace in the early game strategy, which has not so far worked out well for him.
Did have an innocent reject there, which I think I would have preferred to see an innocent drink take since we are sitting here timer flirting. It would have given us time to take a few sips of that.
Or alternately, not try for the timer flirt, as we do get that timer flirt off, and it's a white test, 85%. Any flirt finishes it, but it looks like we're intent on staying around here for another timer flirt, which is very... Okay, good. We're moving in for maybe a contact.
It's not a bad one. Looks like 3 people will be out by the end of it.
Banana bread.
But only 1 taken.
Yeah, Smallman not taken, and
I think
not sure
General
who
is
it.
also
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, a lot of attention being paid to that Smallman twin conversation and not elsewhere. C-Ram still needs some mission progress. You know, this isn't Snipe Arcade Courtyard. You still need, okay, you need your inspects, and then you need to finish flirt, and then you need to find your 4th mission.
Yep, the old Courtyard dilemma we mentioned previously. Amba's leaving a printable drink. Will that be around by the time that C-Rams gets into a conversation?
Ooh,
There's a
printable
fingerprint
statue.
here.
slight animation break, but that's probably fine for getting a fingerprint since you're not particularly likely to win otherwise. That's one
Stepping
drink
back
take.
with the ST, and yeah, we do have a chance of
Don't
this
request
difficult if
though.
Disney rejects. But he doesn't, so another print will be required.
And we still need a flirt. Mustn't forget that.
Ooh,
Gotta
lowlights are
chase
coming
down
off.
this flirt and then interesting.
Is there a
Phantom
phantom swap,
swap?
perhaps?
Phantom purloin, maybe? Uh, shoot the spy. Sure.
Interesting. I didn't even notice that we didn't get that flirt in that other conversation. But shot comes off for the final flirt there. Gabrio holding steady, but still down in the set.
I think that might be a phantom swap on
Yeah,
spy.
the lowlights would certainly indicate that, since all the neutral lights were getting taken down. As we step into the second game of Courtyard in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Oof. Slightly awkward take control there. Taking control just after the AI had landed you and walking forward a few steps, but I don't think C-Rams caught that.
Gabrio just sitting here for a moment, observing the party like a sniper almost. Going in for
Ooh, we're off screen for this. I like it. C-Rams isn't rotating. Oh, we're watching this briefcase really closely. Oh, yeah, okay, we got the in-screen.
Yes, breaks
Yes,
animation to get out of there.
yes.
Yes, good job,
Get out of there,
Gabrio.
yes.
Into contact.
Beautiful. We are never on screen. We are never ever on screen, and in fact, the sniper starts to rotate just as we are walking away in such a way that we are never seen coming out of statues at all.
And now we need
Oh,
the
this could be
contact cover for
devastating
this.
when this swap comes off.
Swap happens. Double agent leaves. It's okay, no
That's
contact is
maybe
happening.
alright because, maybe, Disney just gets shot here because he's seen walking away from the swap statue.
Lowlights happen, including
Aha,
Gabrio.
including us because we were never seen. It's that beautiful. She's
Disney gets a
talking for it, not
momentary
in real
flick of
convo.
attention. But Disney doesn't die yet because he doesn't have real.
Quick zoom on the list as well. C-Rams is looking for potential avenues of finishing, but all Gabrio needs is flirts as a low light. And Gabrio has good reason to believe he's low lit too.
Yeah. And if Gabrio sees Disney join with the double agent, that could just be another opportunity for a contact. Just to induce a safe shot.
I wasn't looking from Gabrio's perspective. Does he actually know who swapped the statue?
He was certainly in range and position to see it if he rotated his camera just a little bit.
Green flirt is nice. I wouldn't mind seeing, okay, the ST bails makes it moot, but I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of a cheesy flirt just in case your ST decides to be rude, because as Gabrio, you have to think that the most likely scenario is that the only way you lose is by failing to complete your flirt. So you should be doing things to make it more likely that you will complete your flirt.
Yeah, just waiting here could take a standing bug, but might be visible as a low light.
Disney definitely top suspect as he is stared down at the second pair of statues. C-Rams may be pondering fingerprints. Ooh. A potentially awkward-looking briefcase redirect. Legal, obviously, but not the anti-tail variation of that.
Now things get a bit awkward if Gabrio doesn't hit this seduce, although Amba might bail us out, but Gabrio's sick with it. Hits the green.
Beautiful.
Disney's in with a double agent as well. That looks like a
It'd be
potential
really
finish.
funny to do the extra, but you don't need to. You're already winning the game. Beautiful.
Great game from Gabrio to tie it up.
Beautiful illustration of no, really, you have to rotate around on Courtyard because sometimes people will just inspect swap on you if you're not guarding a set of statues.
Yeah, it's rare you get to see both inspect and swap completed off screen, but executed perfectly by Gabrio there. Good heads-up awareness.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's tied 5-5 in pub, I believe.
Yeah, and Snipe Arcade is a very swingy venue, so it's really all the marbles.
And we'll see who takes home. Actually, it's games equals marbles at this point. We'll see who takes home marbles in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
CRM's taking immediate control. I very much like that. This is Snipe Arcade. There's no time for fussing around with AI control, and we get the flirt at statues and yep, okay.
I like that too. We waited around for Seek to pick it up so we could leave, just so we didn't have the inspect highlight. I like
Yeah.
that play.
Mm-hmm. Nicely done by CRM's getting a little bit of that early progress in a way that doesn't, that reduces his flirt cooldown further, so he's not held back by that clock too much, because the clock of flirt is one of the main constraints on Snipe Arcade. It's why 2 flirts is so powerful, it's why tease flirts can be powerful, it's why doing anything to reduce the amount of time you have to spend on flirt is important.
Yeah, and there was a no talk in that conversation with just the DA for a little bit there. I think that's happened a couple times in this set. It's not likely to be punished, but C-Rams has let that go a couple times.
Lots of statue inspectors, which could just get a civ shot here with a good enough BB. Looks like C-Rams is getting the delegate.
Yeah, and likely going to join up with the ST here, who does have inspects, as we noted at the beginning, so could be a frame onto one of these highlights here.
Also
And
has a drink, and therefore a potential delegate option. We could go full frame on this. I wouldn't hate it considering we're now at under a minute with only 2/3 flirt done. Oh, there was a
there
print on
goes
this thing, a difficult print, but we fail it. So that's kind of off the table now.
Seek moves away, so don't have that option of delegating to a statue goer anymore.
And unfortunately, both SDAs are out, so there's no opportunity to attempt a BB to frame one of these inspectors. And oh no, there is one real BB here, and it
You
is the
say
spy.
you say oh no, but this doesn't look like a real BB.
Yeah, okay. It's not going to get anyone. It's not a BB that gets anyone shot, but it's also not a BB that makes the spy finish. So still, oh no for C-Rams.
And that's also not a flirt that makes the spy finish, so 5 seconds left, and this is
Yeah,
looking like a
that's
timeout.
devastating. Yeah, that's Snipe Arcade for you. If the sniper holds their shot, you really do have to play at a fast pace to win the game. And there was
Yeah,
nothing really there to make Gabrio shoot.
yeah,
Because,
C-Ram's only out was if any person in conversation was the SDA, but unfortunately the
yeah,
one person out was
yeah,
the SDA.
that's true. When you put it that way, there was it was a high percentage play with the information that C-Rams had.
Yeah, but not attempting anything besides that flirt on the way there like a bug. C-Ram's kind of resigned to timing out there, regardless. As we step into the final game, Gabrio has a chance to take it.
Indeed. In 3, 2, 1, play. Gabrio does some sweet bounces under AI control, but it ultimately lands with both the ST and the DA.
Would love to see again leaving conversation here after this flirt, especially on a 34%, because you need at least 2 more.
Yeah, you cannot sit around for the full timer flirt because then the game is over, basically.
There's a print at a statue, though. That's something of note that looks like Gabrio's noticing.
Gabrio's maybe hoping for a better BB opportunity to happen, and this looks decent, unless you know that the SDA is one of the people out. But 2 very full conversations, if you take the chance that the SDA is in the other one. This is not the worst pub BB I've seen. The worst one would probably be that last one. No, that's not even true, but like, there are definitely worse BBs to take.
Yeah, prints on both statues. One of them has been taken so far, and contact's looking real bad right now. So I'd like to see
Gabrio's
Gabrio get a
still
move
sitting in that
on.
same location with no one but, or one person and the DA, and okay, this bug
I
is being
think
watched very closely.
I think if you trigger this bug as Amba's getting forced out, you have a chance of it working, and it might be no. The snapback would have been visible there, and CRAM's very diligent on watching that.
Yeah, CRAMs can absolutely shoot you for bug, and in most cases will. But yeah, we have some more flirt, but we're under a minute now, and we have some flirt.
And
Now we have
that
a
is a
BB.
nice
That's
contact.
something. Oh, but
5
CRAMs is taking
reels.
highlights for it. Yeah. Good call, CRAMs. 5 highlights with wheel, and I don't think any of them have inspect progress.
Rocker
And
does have inspect, and she has a fingerprint from that statue, and
oh,
we've
she's
got the
getting laser
laser.
burned. Yeah, but CRAMs is not taking the shot, so. Oh, and now we're going in for inspect. No, we're not. We're bailing because someone else has the statue.
We still need another flirt here, and that's really rough. Going in for a delegate might be
This
the
could
option
do
to
it.
hang the clock.
Yeah, get the delegate, run flirt, delegate, hang the clock, and then bug if you take that one
Meanwhile,
spot near the Amba.
Rocker's still
Or
getting
just
laser burned
bug
as she's on
delegate,
the
bug
move.
flirt.
We might delegate to Rocker.
Oh, wow. That would be. No, we delegated to the other one, Smallman. Smallman, still.
No, I think we sent the DA. That might be a
Oh,
blessing
okay.
if this
We still
comes
need to,
off. This is a really long bar queue, though. This might not happen.
Yeah, this might not take. It was pretty fresh, but you should be lining up for another mission just in case.
We needed
I
green
would
time ad
bug,
and like
really.
inspect or something.
Oh, there was a printable drink. That's nice.
There was,
shame we
but
don't have another one.
that won't matter unless we time ad.
White Pest is. I forgot about that funny bit where it goes into the negative, so there's only 10 seconds
I
left when
think
you do the
CRAMs
white.
momentarily thought that it was like overtime beeps,
Overtime,
and then
yeah.
realized what happened.
Oh, time ads and overtime are so weird in how they interact.
The game goes on. Gabrio maybe looking for a fingerprint at this point. Keep in mind the game will end when the spy's clock reaches 22 seconds here. Into statues, we're going to do inspect.
It's a hung clock, so there's going to be overtime on this, and we're going to get shot, surely. Yeah.
CRAMS is able to find the shot after the very delayed overtime. And that's a drawn set. Very close, though.
That's so wild. Because, if it didn't do the negative time on a hung clock thing, then you'd have 45 seconds of if I finish missions, I don't get overtime, which changes the calculations substantially.
Right. Yeah, because we were 33 seconds into overtime when 45 seconds were added. So, added a bit more onto the real clock. Very interesting display of overtime mechanics there.
Yeah, that's wild. If you had asked me how this situation would work before this, I would not have been able to tell you. This is not a particular an interaction of things that I've ever had cause to look into. But yeah, tied game in the end, and some really, really interesting games throughout.
Well, very well fought by all of the players today. Glad I was able to join in cast them.
Okay, that was a little crazy. Gabrio, do missions sooner next time. I was really hoping Gabrio was gonna get another pending purloin.
Green Swamp there would have been very
Yeah,
interesting.
green.
Oh, wow.
I would have.
Yeah.
I want to see him grab another purloin and then hand it off to somebody else. So it would transition from the time ad back to another pending purloin. All right. Anyway, well, Gabriel wants to keep doing missions like a madman. That is totally fine. You can do that. anyway, and that, I guess is it for the Summer Cup for today.
Yeah.
I was looking at the standings just to see how these players are doing. Iterbijam and Group E so far is undefeated. So
Very impressive.
so
Yeah.
that's good.
Impressive. Not particularly surprising given its competitive history, but undefeated is always a big win.
Yep, and well, apparently Group G has not been playing a lot of their matches, so hard to make any conclusions there. But C Rams currently leading the pack. So yeah.
Very interesting to see who will make it to bracket in the coming weeks.
Yeah.
Indeed.
All right. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, casters.
Thank you
you.
for hosting.
Yep, and also, yeah. Oh, rest was telling me I don't know anything. Yeah, that's true. I haven't played this game in a while, so I'm just making everything up as I go along here. Anyhow, yeah. Good games, everybody. We'll see y'all again next week, around the same time, roughly. We'll see.
Thank you for hosting Cluedos.
Yeah, no problem. All right, and see y'all later.